Again, 2004 was not that long ago in the grand scheme of things, and they were the worst franchise in sports. And a couple good picks and some savvy free agent signings, and boom, you're right back on top. And that's what we hope the Hawks can do, next as history goes on here. But it's always hard when a beloved player leaves. It's tough, and I'm probably going to sit with it when I get home a little bit because I've been thinking about doing the show and thinking about the game and getting here on time and all that stuff. I think the drive home is going to be probably a little bit emotional from that perspective, but all I'm going to do is think about the moments. And when I think about Patrick Kane, that's what I think about you think of the dynasty as a whole, right? Of this great, deep, dominant team that went 6 deep defensively, 12 deep forwards, 2 great goalies most of the time, and they were just a relentless machine, right? At some point, the Hawks were going to catch up with you no matter how well you played. They were just better and deeper. But Patrick Kane specifically is the guy with the moments.
Yeah.
The heartbreaker goal, the hat tricks in the playoffs, the talking crap to Brad Marchand, and then winning the Conn Smythe. Like, there's so many Patrick Kane moments, good and bad, let's be honest,
right.
On and off the ice. But, man, his career, it's perfect for, like, a video montage.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, oh, remember that? Oh, remember that? Oh, remember that? Like, it just goes on and on and on. And from the moment he was drafted, I remember they interviewed him after the Hawks picked him, and like the first thing he said was, I'm going to have some pretty cool celebrations for everybody. Like, that swagger from the minute he was picked by Dale Talon.
Yeah.
The minute you knew this kid was going to be special, the Hawks knew he was going to be special, and he was. A number 1 overall pick, became everything he was supposed to be and more.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how what the success rate is of top overall picks living up to their hype and their billing in not only the NHL but in all sports. I think Patrick Kane is one of the standard setters when it comes to that. Like, everything that he was supposed to be as a player, he was, and he was for the Blackhawks. And yeah, the moments. I mean, you could do a laundry list of highlights and huge moments that he himself provided. And what's crazy is, like, one of the biggest moments in the entire modern Cup era run is the Marian Hossa Game 5 2010 overtime winner against Nashville. That moment may not happen if Patrick Kane isn't right there to tie the game in the final seconds of regulation.
Yeah, technically a shorthanded
on
goal.
A penalty kill. Yeah, right. So I mean, it's something like that even to set up to extend the life of this team, he was there of that team. He was there for that moment. So it's just like, it's always when the light was shining the brightest during that time. It was Patrick Kane's moment.
That's what separates him from a lot of superstars. Is you can be the most talented guy on your team. You could be one of the best players in the league, but if you don't show up when it matters most, you're Dan Marino, you're Charles Barkley. Like, you're a guy without, great player, but didn't get it done when it counted. And that's what, in the end, people are going to judge you by, right or wrong. How many championships you win?
Right.
Well, he's got 3. He's hoping to get a 4th one. We'll see how that shakes out. But listen, man, when Patrick Kane wanted to beat you in the Stanley Cup playoffs, he beat you.
He took pleasure in it too.
Yeah, and he made you look stupid while doing it. And very few guys could do that. Kind of reminiscent of another guy that won some championships in that building too.
Yeah.
On the hardwood floor. When those guys are determined to win a game and be the reason why their teams win the game, they usually did it.
Yeah.
And he can still do it, as we saw in his last 4 games. When he wanted to go out there and remind you of who he was and who he is, he can turn it on. So I hope for the Rangers is, I know, Greg, you don't care about this, but my hope for the Rangers is that they get that player, because that's what they're hoping to get. And if they make the Eastern Conference Final with all the convoluted conditions, one way or another, the Blackhawks would get
we will pick in the
first round
between now and the end of time.
Eventually, they will get another first round pick out of it. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be weird to see him play, but once you get a game or two of watching him with the Rangers, it'll be really, from a distance, it'll be interesting to watch him. Madison Square Garden, that loaded team, see where he fits on that team and what he can do. It'll be a lot of fun.